Rolling.
Need to clap or anything? Good?
If you want.
Small clap. Okay, welcome. Negronis Ignored, episode number 64. I'm actually in a little bit of a bind because my wedding is in 2 months, and so I desperately need Botox now. It will be starting to wear off by the time the wedding happens, and I don't want too much Botox, so I think I'm just gonna have to go au natural here for the next month or so. And so you will see my accordion forehead. I apologize, these things are important. I'm gonna skip any big intro. We'll dive right into talking about the Shein trip. Shein, I don't know. As influencers, I think what should you be taking away from this? Obviously, this has been an enormous topic in influencer marketing and I think much more broadly. I'm not gonna comment on what they did was right or wrong. Should they have gone on the trip? Should they have not gone on the trip? That's not really my place. I think that's a personal decision. I do think there are some lessons for influencers. Most of the time, it's a pretty simple story. You are talking about a product, what makes it great, your personal connection with it, and sharing it with your audience who presumably would be interested in a product like that. Every once in a while, a brand will work with influencers to try and repair its reputation, turn around some negative PR that they have had. We saw a lot of this happen in 2020 as brands were called out for not running diverse campaigns and then running quite diverse campaigns, right? A brand that was going through some controversy was going to use influencers to help pull them out of that controversy. If an opportunity comes your way like that, there are two things I think to consider. First of all, make sure you're charging some sort of premium if you feel like the brand is using you as a shield against the public to try and block them from any negative sentiment that they've been receiving. That isn't the normal job, and so they shouldn't pay the normal amount of money. I would guess a 50 to 100% premium is generally what I would think you would want to charge. Number two is you have to really believe the brand. If in this instance, okay, it's Shein, they are seen as, having exploitative work practices, not treating their workers well, generally polluting and having kind of negative impact on the planet. There's a lot of things people don't like about the way that they make clothes. If you are going to be responsible for going to the community and saying, actually, the way they do this is great, then you have to be really, really sure that it is. And you really have to believe it because you are now staking your reputation, the trust, and the relationship you have with your audience on what that brand is saying. You have to believe in what they are doing, and it's going to be harder for your audience to come on that journey with you. Super valuable to the brand if they will, less valuable to you, right? And so I think it's got to be a brand you want to build a really long-term relationship. Ideally, you already have a relationship with them. You are putting, there's something at stake there. You're putting the trust that your audience has with you at risk for this brand deal. Inconceivable that you would do that without any payment. Third, if a brand is, a controversial brand, or if they are currently going through some PR crisis, talk to your contacts at that brand. Talk about conflict resolution. Talk about, are you supposed to respond to negative comments? Does the brand expect you to delete those comments? Are you comfortable deleting comments? Are you comfortable not responding to comments? If they want you to respond, do they have language that you can use? That needs to be collaborative, right? Because again, they're not going to jump in and start having that argument in the comments. They may not want you to, but you may not be comfortable just leaving your audience hanging without answering those questions. So it's really important, if you feel like you're going to get negative feedback and negative pushback, to talk to the brand. I think if the brand is currently, let's say you were supposed to have influencer content go live next week for Shein and you worked with them just on any other kind of normal project or campaign, I would absolutely pause it, and it's okay to take a beat and say, hey, I don't think that my audience is going to see this and see anything other than the controversy. So I just think that we have to take a beat. Could we wait 2 weeks, 4 weeks and reconsider? Also, influencers, you should have in your contract a morality clause where at any time in the collaboration, if the brand does something that does not align with your values, that you can cancel the contract without any repercussions and get paid for work. Brands, we have that with every influencer that we work with. You should feel totally comfortable reaching out to the brand and saying, hey, in light of what's going on, it's not even whether I believe you or not, or I'm on your side or someone else's side. It's just, I don't feel like I need to be throwing myself into this controversy right now. That's not what I signed up for, and I just can't do it. So absolutely feel free to have that conversation with the brand. When something like this is happening, it's also really difficult for the brands. Be kind. You know, the person that set up the influencer contract with you is not the one who probably embroiled the brand in the controversy. They were not the reason everybody is upset with the brand. It's a job, it's their livelihood. They're probably scared. If you're backing out of something, or if you have to say, look, I just can't do this right now, just lead with empathy there. It's the same thing that you would want if you were in that situation. So if there's any other questions around working with a controversial brand, or what to do if you find yourself embroiled in a controversy, let us know. We can continue fleshing some of that out in a future episode. I'll do one snackable reader question here. When looking at reach percentage, do you look at the last 7, 14, or 30 days? I would say for both TikTok and Instagram, we're looking at last 30 days. TikTok is a little more complex, and I think we can dive into that in a future episode. I think it's valuable to, understand on TikTok what percentage of your performance is driven by consistency and what by virality. And so it's a little harder on TikTok. If you have 9 videos that got 100 views and 1 that got 100,000 views, and you say, my average is 10,000 views. Well, that's technically true mathematically, but that isn't actually true. We are rolling out new profiles that are going to crunch all these numbers for you and show you what your virality coefficient is, and show you what your general moving average is, taking out your really low performers and your really high performers. But that's also calculations that you can do kind of easily on your own. But generally 30 days rolling average, meaning just every day you go 30 days back, is what is on our profiles and what is probably the best representation of what your average reach is. As always, keep the questions coming and we will keep answering them. Thank you so much. See you next week. We were doing a honey roast in the Slack question of the day. If you don't know what that is, it's just a compliment. Basically compliment someone that you work with. I give it to everyone. I think, as I've said on this show before, it's such a gift, and it's something I don't take for granted that, we have 80, 85 people that work here and come and try and make, this vision I had a reality and dedicate their lives to it, and what a cool thing.